What's good, crew? It's Rubber Captain coming back at you with another video, and today we got another special one straight out the kitchen for y'all boys, man. So, a lot of people was asking me about the kid matchup and all that. Look, I'm just gonna tell you right away. The kid matchup is it's annoying, bro. It's horrible. It's about just as bad as playing Bonnie, to be honest, but not as bad as playing Bonnie. But it's about just as bad as playing Bonnie. It's like Bonnie's baby brother. You know what I'm saying? That's what the kid matchup is like. But all that being said, I'm not gonna just show you kid games in this video. I do have some other stuff lined up for you. First off, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Also, if you like content like this, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. It really helps your boy out, man. It really supports the crew. Hey, and we're growing, man. We're growing big. Before we get started, I just want to mention a couple, couple announcements here. We did reach out to Three Piece TCG. If you haven't seen his videos, hey, go check them out. Um, we're reaching out. We're gonna start reaching out to these other content creators, man. Trying to get some collab videos set up for y'all, boy, man. Cause you can't be the future king of pirates unless you actually out here connecting and trying to unite the community, man. So that's what we're striving for. You know what I mean? I'm over here stumbling over my words. That's what we're striving for, though, on this channel, man. Eventually, we want to get it to where we're doing collabs weekly, putting out, some fire content for y'all boys, man. So hopefully, these other content creators, man, they hit me back up and get into it. We're actually, me and Three Piece are actually talking though, so hey, stay tuned for them videos, man. They gonna be fire for sure. But first off, I told y'all in my previous videos that we're gonna start doing a random gameplay from the kitchen to try to get that out. If you don't want to see the random gameplay and you just want to go to the video, just skip through the random gameplay. But today we got a special lined up for y'all boys. Let me get to it. All right, crew. We got a nail game, Some of y'all don't see on the channel, man. Yes, your boy was cooking with a nail. And it's actually a nail against Bello Betty. I would say one of the worst matchups for a nail, in my opinion. I mean, because they do go wide really quickly and they do hit for a lot. So, let's watch this game, man. A nail, in my opinion, is still broken if you play the starve game. So that's literally what I do when I play with a nail. I just play the starve game every turn. Don't swing. We establish blockers. We don't mind taking our own life neither. Probably we're going second here, so it's probably gonna be a Shirahoshi play and just pass. You're gonna see me do that a lot. You're gonna see me play out a card and just pass, and that's what I do with this deck. The Kuzan's really strong in this matchup because you just play the Kuzan out. You get to put one of their lower cost bodies back to their life, and then they have to discard a card. So you're just helping them. You're helping the starve game right there. You're quickening the starve game. But our goal is to make it to our bigger Dawn turn so we can just drop Katakuris, Yamatos, remove whatever they have on board. Because we're stacking their life up, throughout the game. We're going to be able to hit bigger bodies with our Yamatos, shit like that. And we don't mind taking hits neither. Even though this is aggressive leader, we don't mind taking hits. It is what it is. I think he forgot to play out a body there. Or maybe he just didn't have a 3 Don body to play out. Yeah, maybe he's got all 4s in his hand. Who knows? Yeah, plays out a Ivankov here. See what he gets off the top. He gets a Kuzan, of course, because, why not? Ivankov in the Kuzan, swings 5 into 4. You can have that, buddy. We don't care about taking life. I think you still should respect the nail going down to 1, but some people don't, and it is what it is. We're going to play out a Nami here, discard a 0 cost event, and get rid of his Kuzan. We don't want that sticking on board because it's going to make his life a whole lot easier if it does. And we're just going to continue to fill out the board here, not swinging with anything else. The only time we're going to swing is when he turns the character sideways. Let's see what our opponent does here. Taking his time, he's thinking. Let me skip through a little bit. Okay. Played a koala to minus 3K on the Nami, and then plays out a Kuma to KO it, and then swings for 9. That's cool. Wanna swing for 5 too? He doesn't swing. Okay, that's smart. All right, but we're on our 8 dawn turn here, so we can do a couple things. We're gonna play out Katakuri and put that Ivankov on the bottom of his deck, bottom of his life, not bottom of his deck, and we're just gonna pass. So now we're gonna start dropping these Katakuris, these Yamatos, gaining life. Next turn will probably be a Yamato just so we can gain a life, or even an ace. See what he does here. He still got 5 cards in hand, so we haven't started him out, nowhere near where we want to have him yet. Okay, he's playing out a koala, taking his own life. That's very good for him. You put your opponent in this situation though when you're doing this, that they feel safe. Like, oh, I got 7 life. Oh, I got 8 life. But not realizing they're still just 2 turns away from death once you complete your mission. You know what I mean? Once you establish these big bodies, they're just 2 turns away from death. Okay, so looks like he's gonna KO our Kuzan here as well some way. Yep. Same as that play he did on our Nami. KOs our Kuzan. That's unfortunate for us. He's removing our board. But it is what it is. He's swinging here. We'll gladly take that. I wouldn't mind trashing the Katakuri here, just so we can play out the Yamato next turn. Yeah, trash Katakuri. Get our life back. We're good to go. Oh, he is swinging with 5. Oh shit, my bad. I hit the damn mic. He is swinging with 5. That's interesting. Figured he wouldn't want to turn them sideways, but I guess. 0 cost event there. Perfect. I'm just counting his life real quick. We can Yamato that koala off the board. We probably should have just did first off. I don't know why we didn't. But we could do that too, and then we can play the Yamato or the Luffy. I like or Ace. Yeah, Ace is good too. Gain a life. I think I would have rather played Yamato there, looking back, and just KO the Ivankov, and leave him with these lower K attacks. But I mean, I guess it don't matter. We still got a Share Hoshi on board. And we do got another Ace to drop next turn as well, so we're not looking terrible. Not gonna lie, this board would be scary against like most other decks though. Playing out a Bello Betty Searcher. Probably looking for that damn probably looking for old buddy. I be forgetting names, man. Karasu there. That's who the hell he's looking for. He found him, of course. Because they always find Karasu. Playing out Karasu, minusing our leader, of course. Using his leader effect. Giving all his shit plus 3K. 5 and a 4. We'll take it. 5 and a 4. We'll take it. We can just block out Ivankov. Get rid of the Yamato there. 5 and a 4. Give him 2 1Ks here. Save our Shirahoshi blocker just in case. We go down to 0. Guess that's fine as well. I should have went 5 and 5 first, but oh well. Gotta get that Karasu off board, so it's definitely gonna be a Yamato play. Yamato get rid of Karasu. Yep, made sense. All right, so we're essentially starving our opponent out while playing huge bodies, and we're still sitting on a blocker, so we're super safe. You can't KO it, or we'll just gain another life. Playing out another Karasu, bro. They always got Karasu. This is 3 Karasus this game that I've had to survive. And he's playing out a Russian Inazuma. And he's doing the leader effect. Okay. He's trying to kill us here for sure. See how this plays out, though. You know we're playing yellow. You never know what the trigger's gonna be. 5 and a 4. We can just 2K out of that. He just passes there. Um, I don't know if just passing there was correct because he could have swung 3 more times. Like, yeah, he would have lost everybody on board. But I don't know. I would have swung if I was him, just personally. Now we can play Katakuri, remove that Karasu. Surely remove Karasu, right? We'll go 5 and a life first. Or we can kill him. Yeah, there's always that. He got a he got a Karasu blocker effect, so yeah. Our plan to kill him is out the window. Swing 10, swing 10. Could play another ace out as well, but I like a Katakuri and another blocker. Why not? Katakuri, put Karasu on bottom. Yup. Add another blocker over a Katakuri. Why not? Bam. Now we're sitting on 2 blockers. And he's dead next turn pretty much. Yeah, we only got 1 life, but you know, oh, he gets a dragon. That's nice. So we gotta go for game here. But technically we got, 3 life. Well, he's gotta hit us 3 times. He's gotta get 3 attacks through. And all I gotta do is get out of 2 attacks. So we'll see how we play this out. We get a trigger. We get a Luffy trigger. Yes, sir. No, like I said, you never know what yellow gonna get. I would trash to get that too for sure. Yeah. Bam. So we got rid of one of his attacks, which is great for us. I'm thinking here, we got 2 blockers still. We get a we get the one who should disappear, which is kind of crazy, but it didn't matter anyway. We're just gonna just block, take. Or we would have took that one and then just block. Yeah, we did take that one and block. It wouldn't have mattered. And then yeah, it's GG's right here. He's got 1 card in hand, and we got 4 big ass attacks coming in. So nothing he can do. We're trolling, playing Flampy out for the hell of it. Why not? And he gets salty, and what a fucking bitch deck. But he's playing Bello Betty. I don't know. You guys tell me. He's calling the nail a bitch deck, but he's playing Bello Betty. I don't know, man. Seems like to me you're just preying on the glass cannon, but let's get on to the video, crew. Alright, crew. So we got a couple things to discuss here. I wondered, this was one of my stronger lists from OP09, and I was wondering if it was still viable in this meta. Because when I build my list, I build them thinking of a lot of matchups in mind. And I think this list is still viable this meta, but I did make another list. But I am going to go through this list, and if you want to play this list is great as well for this meta. But I'll kind of go over this list a little bit, and then I'm going to go over my other list. So first off, we are running 3 of the Newgates. So Newgate is great against like Zora matchups, the red matchups where they go really aggressive and really wide. especially Zoro because they're playing like the animal Zoro. When you make your leader an 8K leader, it's a whole lot harder for them to swing into you because they are 5K base. Even with Zoro with a Don attached, they're still only like majority of time 6K, 5K base. So that being said, Nugae's strong in the red matchups. Then we got Dragon. Dragon's good in like green matchups, Bonnie matchups, any matchup like Shanks matchup, Blackbeard matchup. So that's why we got the Dragon in here. Ben Beckman. I didn't like Ben Beckman in '09, but now I think he is a crucial card against the Kid matchup. Kid matchup, Bonnie matchup, he's good. You know, the Smoker matchup. So I think he definitely needs a place in your deck now for sure. If you're worried about those specific matchups, but Blackbeard matchup, he is just a 7 cost 7K. And of course we run the Zoro Joros in this list. This is our older list. We're running two of the Gear 5s. Gear 5's just great in every matchup pretty much. Like if you can establish bodies and have your opponent low life, Gear 5's good in any matchup. For the Sanji blockers, this card's always been good. For Brulees, I always love Brule. I'm not gonna discuss cards that I'm gonna go over anyway. Just kind of going over the bigs, really, to be honest. So the non-drop Luffy, I'm not gonna lie. In my opinion, Dragon's better than this card. But that being said, this card is good in the kid matchups. It's good in the Shanks matchup. Any matchup that plays like 8K bodies, this is good in the Bonnie matchup. But where Dragon's better is Dragon's good in all those matchups as well, but it's also good in the Blackbeard matchup. So that being said, there's one matchup that's that Dragon's just gonna be better in. So that means Luffy's lacking in that area, but he does draw a card, so his own play is decent. He draws a card, and essentially you are playing him out for 8 if you're playing this leader specifically, because you do get to get that dime right back. So that being said, I do think he is a good card for this leader if you want to play him. Two queens, just cycle. We gotta have cycle. We got 3 of the kids. So like I said with Newgate, any matchup that's playing like red, majority of red matchups. I ain't gonna say every red matchup because Bella Betty's still a struggle regardless. But your Zoros and all that, anything that's gonna be popular in a Blackbeard meta, this matchup, this card is good against. Even Blackbeard, this card is good against because if they can't remove it, you're still getting the effect because it's a win attack and not just only on play. So great card all around. The next card I kind of want to go over is Divine Departure. I think Divine Departure is a good card. I just wish he got rid of for 6 Don, like Red Rock for example. 6 Don Red Rock removes anything in the game. It bottom decks. I get this card has counter as well, but I kind of wish it would hit like a 10K body at least, or at least a 9K, so it would help you out in the kid matchup. But if you play this card in the kid matchup, you would need Otama to combo with it just to remove one of their big blockers because they're 7 cost 9Ks. I don't know why they made them 7 cost 9Ks or 8 cost 9Ks, but they did. So that's something we got to deal with. So Divine Departure is decent against a lot of matchups, but Rad Beam I think is still a better card when it comes to counter wise. But if you want more removal base, Divine Departure is better. Thunder Bagua, just a great card. I mean, if you're playing dragons and Thunder Bagua, you're cooking. But this is the old list I was playing. I do have some games of this list. But let's get on to the new list I made. Okay, crew. So, this I think is the best RP Luffy list for the current meta. Like right now, before EBO2, we went over Newgate and why we have Newgate in here. We went over Dragon and why we have Dragon. You know, so that's why we have these two in here. We had King Dudes in this list. So if you ever seen my sticky video, my sticky build of Luffy, you would know that this card and the 5 cost Ace are sticky cards, and you know sticky cards in RP Luffy is, you know, it's essentially like the 2 cost Shirahoshi blocker for a nil. They can trash it with being Batman, but that's one card, or they could bottom deck it with something else. But if they're spending resources to do that for a 3 cost card, I'm fine with that. That being said, I think King Du has solidified a place, you know, in RP Luffy for right now. For Zoro Joros, I always run Zoro Joro. I just love the card. You know, it's a great card. 2 of the Gear Fives. Gear Fives, you know, it's my main man, the myth, the legend. You know, that's the only reason why we play this deck. To be honest, like Gear Five is just great. 4 Sanji blockers. So I'm actually running an interesting combo that you will see in the video. With the Sanji blocker and another card that I haven't got to yet. Running 4 Brule because, you know, it's Brule and I'm Mr. 2 Bond Clay. We're running 3 of the Sanji blockers here. Now this card can be swapped out for Ben Batman. To be honest, I was thinking about going down 1 Dragon and 1 Sanji and putting 2 Ben Batman. That way I have 2 Ben Batman and 2 Sanjis. But we do have another tech card that we're playing to help in those matchups where Ben Batman is good. And we'll get to that in a second. We're playing 4 of the Frankie blockers. So the reason why I'm playing the Frankie blocker specifically is because this is better than the Onami and the Blackbeard matchup, because it is a 4 cost 5k, where Onami, you know, doesn't have that attack power. So this can be a low cost attacker. And you ever seen my Blackbeard video? If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. How to beat Blackbeard, because I think I was playing Purple Black Luffy then. But either way, the same principle still applies. Like having low cost attackers that you can play out and spam the board with, you know, is essential to beating Blackbeard. So that being said, there's also another play with the Frankie blocker where you can play on 10. You can play the Frankie blocker out, Don -2, then you'll be 2 lower than your opponent, and you can play out the 2 Sanjis if they're on 10, of course. You can play out 2 Sanjis from hand, so you'll establish 3 blockers that way, and I actually showed that off in one of the games. Then also, this is our tech card right here for the kid matchup. The kid matchup, the law matchup, the green yellow law. Any matchup where they like to get that big hand size, this card is great because it just makes them trash 2 cards. They don't get to choose, so you can hit, you know, potential big bodies like the 8-drop kid or 7 cost law. Just a great tech card, I think, that we have to include, you know, for this meta. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to figure out how to get more in here, but we're not going to get to that right now. Of course, I went over why Kid is good in this meta. Kid Newgate combo, 9k leader is going to be good, you know, unless there's a meta where, you know, I don't know, I guess where everybody's swinging like 10, 12ks. But, you know, like I said, 9k leader is always going to be good. You establish these 2 on board, you pretty much auto win if they can't remove it. Then we got 4 Usohachis, just the best 2k counter for purple. Running 1 Divine Departure, just to help us, you know, if we do need a little bit of removal. And then we're running the Thunder Bagua, 3 Thunder Baguas and 4 Gum Gum Giants. So now, this is the best list for the OP10 meta in my opinion right now, currently. Like I said, you can remove 1 Sanji, 1 Dragon, and put in 2 Ben Beckmans, and that will help out in the yellow matchups. So like when they do their Basil Hawkin play or something like that on 4, you can just trash it. You know, so that does help out in that matchup specifically. A lot of the times, Sanji's good as well because he could just rest down the Basil Hawking. So it is what it is. I usually don't attack in the Basil Hawking, but the where Ben Batman is better is it actually just gets rid of it off the board, so they can't keep doing it. That being said, let's get on to the next list. All right, crew. So this is when the EBO2 comes out. All I did was take away the Sanjis, and I took away the Sanjis and one other card. Oh, we went down to 3 new gates. Took out the Sanjis, went down to 3 new gates, and we added 4 of the new 6 drop. This card is good. You play it out. You don't have to use his effect. Like I had to learn that. Like I was wanting to use his effect super early, but it's better just to play him out and use him as a 6 cost 7K rush. And then if it comes time to use his effect, then we got it. But either way, they have to deal with this card when it's on board. So it's very good. But everything else in the deck is the same. But I don't want to make this deck profile too long. So I think it's better just to show you the matches. Let's get on to the matches, crew. But before we do, my signature saying, man, hey, bro, draw that beat. Alright, crew. This is the EBO2 meta. Well, I'm actually playing OP11 servers, but this is the EBO2 version of the deck, and I'm going to show you how it runs. We're playing against green purple Luffy here. So we have a Zoro, which is great. They don't really play, if they do play removal, it's not that much. So I'm not worried about them removing it. So it's a great card to play in this meta because a lot of people are going to be running that green purple Luffy. So Zoro is just going to come in clutch. See what our opponent does here. Man, it's taking forever, bro. I hate when people take forever, but we gotta be patient. But when I'm making a video, it just makes it, it makes it harder. If swung at us, we take the first life. Don't mind taking the first life. We don't have really that much counter anyway. Plus, I'd rather have these blockers to play out. All right. So we swung with Zoro. Okay. So we swung 5 with Zoro here. He took. We swung 6 with leader. He countered out. No, he countered out of the Zoro hit. Okay. Or he had a blocker one. Let me go back because I'm over here bugging, bro. This man got me fucked up trying to skip through. Okay, he played out a 2-cost blocker. Swung 5 with Zoro. He gave us the blocker, then swung 6 with leader. Okay. We play out a Kingdu here. We left 5 open down because we do have a Thunder Bagua in hand. So that will allow us to protect our Zoro this turn. Also while ramping. So, double ramp never hurts. Guy's taking a little minute again. Okay, swinging 7 at leader here. We're just on Thunder Bagua that. Bam, he's got 4 open down. What is he gonna play out? Plays out the Zoro. That I think it has rush into a character. He can rest a 4 cost or lower. Yeah. So it's probably gonna get our Zoro off the field, which we don't care about anyway. I mean, we're gonna be on 10 next turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But having him on board does help. All right. We're gonna ramp up to 10. Probably gonna be a kid play right here, just to get that 7K lead. And we'll swing 9 at our opponent here, see if he wants to give us 3 cards or take another life. Yeah, so the great thing about kid on 9, on 10 9, is it allows you to play him out and swing 9 into your opponent. And swinging 9 is going to devastate their hand, or you're going to get a free life. But little do they know, like, in this build specifically, you're going to swing 9 a bunch. So, if they don't start using that counter, either one way or another, you're going to get that counter from their hand. Like, they're not going to have a choice, unless they want to lose the game. What he does here, he's taking his time. Let me skip through again. fell asleep here. He played out the Usohachi, the cheap one, the cheaper one, the one that like when you swing you can rest down to 4, cost a lower. Don times 1, I think, which ain't a bad card, you know. Definitely great for like budget lists. And I actually used to run it before the other one came out, so you know, still a good card in my opinion if you're on a budget for sure. Then he played out a Frankie. Put 1 on Zoro here, swinging 6. I guess he didn't realize our leader is 7K, but that's too bad for him. Let's counter out 1K from the leader attack. He does have a 6K leader, but we got a lot coming in right now. Alright, he passes to us. Play out Dragon, put 2 on lead, put 1 on Kid. Swing 9 into 6, do Kid effect. See what he wants to do here. Okay. He counters out 2 2Ks, perfect. Swing 9 into 6. Use leader effect here too. Get that dime back. Counters out 2 2Ks, so we done devastated his hand now. And we're coming in for 10, going for that last life or that Gum Gum Giant. We get the last life, perfect. So you can't argue that he didn't get his Sanji pudding here. But is that gonna really stop him from taking all these big attacks? I don't think so. Will it allow him to get more attacks on me? Yes. But we are a 7K base with Kid on board, so it's like at the same time 7K base, Kid on board, and a blocker that you can't remove or you're gonna get my lead plus 2K. At the end of the day, you know, he's pretty much checkmated, he just doesn't know it yet. Putting 3 down on Usohachi here, swinging 7 in the lead, resting down the King Do. We give him a King Do to counter out. I guess he's thinking he has to go for game. Swinging 7 with the Frankie. Just gonna give him the Gum Gum Giant so we can cycle. Yes, sir, we got into that rush Luffy. Plays out a Nico Robin blocker. Probably about to use lead effect. Swing another 7. Swings 5 into 4 to get rid of the blocker. We're just gonna let it go. I thought about counter now, but we're just let it go. Please don't use leader effect here. See what he swings into. Plays out on 1 cost searcher. I wouldn't have done that. I don't think. I would have rather left 2 down up, but I think he searched for Gum Gum Giant, which makes sense. He did get a 2K from that, so that's good for him. He's using the stage, but that don't really matter because I'm not trying to remove anything. I mean, you ain't got no life, buddy. I'm going for game. I'm not trying to remove anything. So now I'm going to show you the game ending power of the Luffy. So we play the Luffy out because, you know, we want our Kid effect to be nutritious. So we swing with Kid 8. That's 2 over 6, so it's perfect amount. You got to give us 2 cards or that Gum Gum Giant or a blocker. There's no way you want to give us the blocker this early. Give us the Gum Gum Giant right away. Perfect. Alright, so we should get 1 back. Yep. We're gonna swing 8 with lead. That's 2 over. So you gotta give me 2 more cards. What you gonna do? Alright. Give me 2 cards for it. We like that. Swing 9 into 6. gonna do? Give me that blocker. Alright. Gonna let him draw a card. Reveals a Ronozoro. Put 2 on the Luffy. Swing, do the effect. So we're swinging 9 and 9. And he can't get out of it. So, yeah, that's the power of the new Luffy, man. Playing him on curve is good as well. Just having that body on board that they gotta worry about. You know, like I said, this list right here does cook the purple green Luffy. If they can establish their Sanjis and stuff, it does help them out. But like I said, you are playing ways to make your leader, you know, 9K. So there's always that. Let's get on to the next game, crew. Alright, crew. So here we go. Pretty sure this is still the OP11 list. Not OP11, I don't know why I said OP11. The EBO2 list on the OP11 servers. There we go. So we've seen a Sanji pudding there, huh? That man added a Sanji pudding. He's playing that 3-piece TCG build, huh? I think I seen a video with him playing the Sanji pudding out. Can't remember, yeah. So we're gonna take the first hit here, which is fine. We do got the classic Zoro Joro Brule classic, man. I done said it so much, I be stumbling over it now. Swing 6, play out Brule. You've seen it all before, and if you haven't, man, this is the Zoro Joro Brule classic. He swings 5 at her Zoro Joro here. We're just gonna block with Brule. What you want to do? You on 7 Don. Plays out Sanji pudding here. Uses Gum Lightning to get rid of her Zoro Joro. Gets to get 2 Don back with the Sanji pudding. It's a perfect little play for him. And swing 7 and give him a 2K and easily out of that. Alright, so here we go. We bone 10 Don. It's time for the shenanigans to start. Making sure I use leader effect already. I was bugging. Should just swing 9 here, in my opinion, but you know, we're gonna leave 3 open Don and probably play out King Do. Because we know he plays removal, and if he wants to be stupid and remove, we don't know he plays removal, but there's a chance that you're playing the 5-cost Black Sanji. So that being said, playing out King Do, and if you want to play that 5 Don Black Sanji out, be my guest. Go ahead and do it. But no, he's playing the 7-cost Rush Sanji. I should have known that. Should have left that 1 open Don, right? That's unfortunate for us. So Sanji pudding strong if you're playing against a deck that doesn't have removal for a 5-cost. You know, it's not a bad card. If you watch one of my videos, I was talking about it, but not a bad card if you can establish it and it sticks, and then you can start dropping those 7-cost rushers. Swinging 9 at us here, we're gonna take. Swinging 7 at us, and we gotta take. We gotta go down to 0 life. But you know, we ain't never scared, man. We ain't never scared. If you ever seen me, we're not scared to play on 0 life. Alright, so we got a couple things we can do here. And I'm thinking, yeah, we'll just go Dragon. Put 1 on. Swing 9 into 5 minus. Get that Gum Giant out. That's why we did that. We get the Gum Giant out, so now we can attempt to remove his board. We go 9 into his Sanji pudding here. Grant with leader effects. Swing another 9 into Sanji pudding here. He goes down to 0 cards. He had another 2Ks. Unfortunate, right? We do got 2 open Don though, so keep that in mind. Like when our opponent sees cards in our hand with open Don, he has to respect it no matter what. So we're gonna use the Gum Gum Giant first, just in case we get into another Gum Gum Giant. We don't. We draw on the 2 bricks, so it's looking tragic for us right now. Our opponent doesn't know we drew in the bricks, but hey, there's a safe assumption. Okay. So our opponent makes a crucial mistake here. And don't ask me why this was done, but you know, it was done. He plays out a blocker here. The Tony Chopper. Puts 1 on lead. And ends his turn. Now, he would have won the game if he would have just swung, right? Like split down and swung. Or even if he just strapped everything on. I guess maybe he was scared I had 2Ks, because that's all it would have took to get out of that. And he would have definitely lost on the crackback. So I guess he was playing it safe. But this is why sometimes playing it safe can be you know, detrimental to you. So here I'm thinking, I don't know why I'm hovering over Newgate. We just have to go for game here. Like, he has no life. Play Monkey D Dragon out. And, you know, go from there. Really, we could have played the Uso Hachi out and rested down. But if he does get an event, he can possibly get out of it. Let's see what we do here. Swing 9. He goes down to 0. Swing 9. He blocks out. And then we swing 11. He did get a Gum Gum Giant, which is crazy from life. And he did get a 2K off the draw, so a couple mistakes made. If he'd have used the Gum Gum Giant on the dragon attack, he would have survived and he could have just blocked out of the leader attack. I mean, yes, I could have just left open Don to bluff him, but I was cooked either way. But yeah, this is why playing it safe sometimes is not the move. Let's get on to the next game, crew. Alright, crew. So, kid, this was one of my, this was the same build I showed y'all the first time, but I was trying it out with the searchers. I don't really, I mean, searchers are good because you can't search 2Ks and stuff, but other than that, like, late game, I feel like it's not that great. But don't get me wrong, I always love my Nami searcher regardless. Like, you know, we got good memories together from back in the day. We're gonna put 3 on Nami, swing 5 here at our opponent, try to get a card from hand. And we're gonna go 6 in at our opponent here. Get the blocker, I'll take it. Swings 2 and a 2, that's fine, you can have that, buddy. Alright, he swung at us there, we take the life. We don't want to take life against Kid, but we're not going to counter out of a 9K swing. Not giving him that much value from hand. We're going to do our Zoro play here. See what we can do. We got our opponent down to 3 life, which is a good thing for us. He's swinging at us for 7. We're not going to give him that attack. So he's probably going to play out the Basil Hawkins, and he does. But we do got the Ben Beckman here. Swing 4 and a 5. We ramp up. Usually the Fed. Play out the Ben Beckman. Trash the Basil Hawkins. Swing 7 in. He does got a trigger to draw 2, discard 1 from hand. So, you know, that's a plus for him. As you can tell, yellow's got a shit ton of cards in hand. This is why I teched in the the laws now. I think purple law will help that out. Being able to just trash 2 cards from their hand. He plays out the Eustace Captain Kid, trashes their life, and makes him a blocker. You know, great for him. So now we got a decision to make. We can play a rush out and get that instant attack, or we can play out a Newgate and make our leader safer. The thing with the rusher is, we play the rusher out, we'll have 2 open Don and not just 1. And since we got Zoro on the field, it's better to play the rusher out anyways, because you can minus more than 1 Don. Now we can just blank swing. Don't put the Don on. We didn't have to put the Don on there, but we did anyway. Guess we wanted to force him to like respond to it, because he does have a lot of cards in hand, so it does make sense. Swing 5, he counters out. Re-ramp with lead. Swing 6. Swing 7. Probably gonna block this one, yep. And swing 10. Alright. We got our opponent down to 1 life here, and our hand is looking nice. So with this matchup, I found the trick is to try to get them down to 2 life and have 2 decent sized bodies on board and a gear 5, which is a lot of puzzle pieces to put together, but it makes this matchup a whole lot easier if you can put that puzzle together. So that being said, Searcher might not be terrible in that specific aspect, being able to search for the gear 5. You could even go up more gear 5s, like 3 or 4. If you're playing a lot of Yellow Kid, for example. Swings 9 here. We're just gonna go ahead and do the Gum Giant. Plays out another blocker. Now he's got 2 blockers. Not bad for him. So this is probably gonna be a Newgate play. We'll swing 7 first with Ben Beckman. We get the 1 cost blocker, I'll take it. Play out Newgate, swing 8. Probably block, yep. I'm debating here whether to swing into his blocker or his life. We're just gonna swing into his blocker, because if he doesn't have a law, then he doesn't gain a life. And if we see the card we need to see off this cycle, then we're great. So he swings 9 into 8 here with this 2K counter out. Swings 9 into 8 again. We're gonna Gum Giant here more than likely. Yep. Gum Giant. We see the gear 5, which is perfect. Now our opponent's got a choice to make. Plays a 10 cost ace to gain a life so he can make another blocker. Yep. That's never a bad play. But we got a lot of attacks coming in. We're gonna swing 7 here. And I would say for like each life, you want like a big body swing before you do the gear 5, which makes it, you know, perfect. He gave us the blocker there and he countered out to save it, which was a mistake. Cause you need all that counter in hand with what we're about to do. See what he does here. I mean, you gotta take it, right? There's no way you're getting out of it with 3 cards. Play our gear 5 out, you know, the man, the myth, the legend. Swing 7 here. He counters out. He's got 2 cards in hand. Unless he's got a beige trigger, he's cooked. 10, 12. Yes, sir. No beige trigger right there. We got lucky, man. We got lucky. Let's get on to the next game, crew. Oh yeah, crew, before we get into the next game, I almost forgot. So I made a kid, an anti-kid list. This is what it's called. So if you're running into like just a abnormal amount of kids, you know, hey, like you're at a daycare or some shit, then this is the list I cooked up right here for kid. We're playing 4 of the 10 drop shanks. They just KOs the 10 cost or less. This removes their blockers. We're playing the Rosinante to combo with that, so we can get 2 open dime back. And then we're playing ramp events and guide threads to help remove their Namis or whatever, lower cost bodies that they play. And then, we still got the Gear 5s. We still running the Ben Bettmans. And then we're running the It's to Die for that double ramp. Also combos well with the Gear 5. Gear 5, then It's to Die for double ramp. Perfect. They usually have a 6K body on board for sure. Yeah, this is the anti-kid list, and I'm gonna show off a gameplay of that. So let's get into it, crew. So unfortunately, I didn't see the Rosinante in this game. And that was kind of my issue with playing or relying on Rosinante to have your open Don when you play a 10 drop, which essentially makes like your bricks even bricker when you draw them, like your 10 drops, because you can't play them out like safely. If you can't play them out safely, then they're irrelevant. Like if I play out a 10 drop and I die next turn, then there was no point in me playing out that 10 drop. You see what I'm saying? That's also one of the reasons why we're running the 10 drop shanks that KOs, because at least we're removing an attack, like no matter whether it's active or what. Because if you play the kid matchup, they get to put their cards active to game blocker, right? So having the 10 drop shanks with rush doesn't always KO a body, because they're not always rested. And a lot of times they'll just take the life. You're still in the same situation. So that's why the 10 drop KO shanks is better in that aspect. He plays a Nami out, gets rid of our Zoro there, but we don't care about that. We do got Brule. Swing 6 here. Waiting on our opponent. We'll play out Brule and we'll pass the turn, leave 2 open Don, just for the hell of it. See what our opponent does here. Taking a little bit of time. He plays out a Searcher Luffy. Search the Captain Kid, of course. Swing 6 at us, we just block out with Brule. Ramp. Swings another 6 at us, we just give him a 1K there. Probably gonna play out Basil Hawkins, yep. Standard kid business. But we got the Ben Batmans, we just trash that thing. Swing 7 into his Nami here. Since he does have a active card, if he doesn't play a Law out and he plays that kid out, he will not get to make it blocker. Granted, he will trash a life regardless, but it is what it is. That's what makes this matchup so hard, is them being able to establish an 8 cost 9K and trashing a life. And there goes one of our shanks right there, which was very unfortunate there. We would have loved to have that in our hand, but in order to get that into our hand, we would have had to take that leader attack, which would have put us, even lower. So it's probably going to be a Newgate turn here, because we can't Ben Batman really. We're going to swing 7 first, so he doesn't know what we're doing. He takes. Lay out Newgate. Swing 8. We're going to pass it there. So we got our opponent down to 2 life. We got some decent sized body on board. Let's see what he does here. I mean, he could always play out the Law, which, is a thing. But Newgate definitely helps out in this matchup. I mean, just being able to make him, 8K lead is too good. You're able to get out of these 9K attacks with just a 2K. I mean, yeah, you do have to have a 2K, but that's a whole lot better than having to have a 2K 1K or 2K 2K. My bad. whole lot easier to find one 2K than it is two 2Ks. He plays the law out. He was thinking about that for a minute there. I get it. Swinging 9 and the 7. What's from the Gum Giant here? There's no point in giving him that. We should have got rid of the Batman here because it's pretty much a dead card in our hand right now. I doubt he's gonna play anything lower than 7 or 9 or 7 or 8 from this point on. But you know, it is what it is. We do save our cycler here, which we probably will trash the Batman with that. Oh, he's doing his end of turn kid effect. Okay. Alright, cool. Swing 7 and a 5. And then the 5. Do our Frankie effect here. Trash the Ben Batman, draw 2. We get 2 shitty cards. We're not gonna use our leader effect yet. We're gonna play out 2 Sanjis for 3 since we're 2 less than our opponent. And then we're gonna ramp, and we gotta open Don to bluff at Gum Giant, swing 6 at our opponent here. Get a 2K from hand, perfect. So now we just established 3 blockers. We got an open Don, which is bluffing a, you know, 1 cost event. Let's see what our opponent does here. He plays out a kid. Swung 9 into 10. I didn't even catch that. I didn't even catch that when I was playing. He swung 9 into 10, and I gave him a blocker for that. So that was definitely a miss. I was thinking he swung it to my leader. I don't know why the hell. Hey, you learn shit when you watch games back. So we would have had an extra card up, and I didn't even know that. He probably meant to swing into our Ben Batman though, so you know, all's fair. We gave him a card, but we gave him a blocker, but he probably would have removed the Ben Batman anyway. So that makes sense. Or we would have blocked it out for the Ben Batman anyway. Yeah, so yeah, he was probably trying to swing at our Ben Batman and accidentally clicked on Newgate, so it worked out the same. We gave him all 3 blockers here, but we do got a gear 5 in hand, and he only has 2 life. And this is the situation you want to have your kid opponent in. 2 life. Even if they have a blocker, it doesn't matter as long as you got 2 big swings on board. And they have to save their blocker for your leader attack, really, if they want to like make the most use out of it. So he's countering out here. 2K, 1K. Swing 10 in, he's gonna give us the blocker more than likely, because you know they like doing those type of things. He tries to save his blocker, which every kid makes that mistake. They try to save their blocker, but hey, that's 2K you ain't got in your hand now, buddy. Hope you can get out of this attack. Swing 7 in here. Bam. Then we go swing 10. If you got a beige, you got it. Beige trigger, you got it. And then 12 in. He's hesitating, man. Okay. So yeah. So he did have 2K, 1K. Oh, he probably got that out of life. But yeah, he definitely should have not tried to save his law, and they got a habit of doing that. So like I said, the matchup's rough either way. No matter which way you slice it, the matchup's rough, bro. Like I keep hitting my mic. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, crew. But yeah, the matchup's rough regardless, man. Not gonna lie, but the 10 drop shanks that KOs does make it a little easier because if they play out a 10 cost kid, that's their turn, pretty much. Or I'm not 10 cost, but 8 cost kid or a 7 cost law. That's pretty much their entire turn, right? And as long as you're removing their lower threats up until that point, playing out a 10 drop is gonna remove that body every turn. So you're essentially skipping their turn, but playing out a 10 costs 12k every turn. Like even if you don't get the Rosinante set up, as long as you're removing their early game bodies. I mean, you know, like I said, with the kid, they do get to trash your life. So that, like I said, this matchup's just rough, bro. It's rough, but hopefully, this build makes it a little bit easier for y'all if y'all are running into a lot of them. But every other matchup besides like Bonnie is decent, you know. Got a good matchup into a lot of stuff. Great leader, man. The best leader, in my opinion. Like I said, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.